Hey, so take a look at this rinky-dink patio table that I've got. I mean, I should be embarrassed by this thing. I'm gonna build a new one today, and that's gonna give us a chance to talk about choosing the right woods for your outdoor projects. Hey, so if you're new here, my name is Mark, and I'm from Woodworker Source. We're just a hardwood lumber company, and then I make these videos for you to just help demystify things about hardwood lumber so that you can build better woodworking projects. It's a question we get asked all the time, like which woods are best for building outdoor projects? Which ones can survive the hot summers, the cold winters, the big changes in humidity, bright sun, and heavy rain? So the good news is there's a lot that put up a good fight, that resist rot and decay, and they've got really good dimensional stability despite climate swings. So woods like western red cedar, cypress, types of eucalyptus, any pressure treated wood, for example. And then here are the ones that we carry, woods like white oak, mahogany, roasted red oak, and then my personal favorite is exterior grade plywood. But we should probably talk about teak a little bit more because that's like the creme de la creme outdoor or exterior wood. This is teak. So the thing with teak is that the countries where it comes from, they want to keep the manufacturing jobs in their country. So they really put high tariffs on exporting the raw lumber. Then add to that, there's been a lot of political disruptions over there. So the US imposed even more tariffs on the imports. So teak is getting hit from both sides on exporting and importing, right? Now you combine that with the current shipping container rates going across the ocean. So teak pricing is just going through the roof, which is just making the wood a lot harder to find. Okay, but there is an alternative, which is plantation grown teak that comes out of Central and South America. Now that wood's got some issues too, is that usually because it's plantation grown, it's a lot narrower, and then the color is just not as rich. Instead, the woods I would really recommend that you check out are Iroko and Afrormosia, okay? Their color is just as gorgeous as teak. They're really beautiful woods. Plus, they hold up the outdoors really well, and they're a fraction of the price of teak. Now, some of these woods are better suited for decks and things that will get exposed to everything that the great outdoors will throw at it. Woods like Ipe and Jatoba, these are really hard and really heavy woods. They're just great for decks, right? And then you've got other woods like roasted red oak, Iroko, red grandis. These are a lot lighter in weight and they're less dense, which would be really suitable for a piece of furniture that you might drag around the patio from time to time. Okay, so look, no matter which wood you choose, the color's gonna gray over time. And outdoor wood is just not gonna last forever unless you give it a little bit of TLC to maintain it from time to time. And what I mean by that is if you do nothing, you leave it outdoors, you might get maybe 3 or 4 years before you need to rebuild the project. But if you refinish it, say when it starts to look bad, you can get probably 20, 30 years out of it. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to work on this table. Here are the woods I chose: white oak and roasted red oak. I just love this combination, right? And these are great choices for an outdoor furniture project. I think I'm gonna use this for the top and white oak for the base. And then instead of doing like a regular cube or something with straight sides, I'm gonna give this a little angle, make it a little more special that way. All right, with this table all assembled, I'm really loving how that 10-degree angle is coming out, right? But I was so enthralled with trying to figure out how to make the cuts and how to assemble it that I overlooked a really important detail, and that was the end grain on the bottom. The reason you don't want end grain touching the ground is because that's where wood absorbs and releases moisture. And if it does that a lot, like it would with this sitting on the ground, it's just going to encourage the wood to crack more and probably even make that joint fail. So what I did to fix that was I coated the end grain with some epoxy, and then when we're all done, I'm going to attach some rubber feet to it to raise up off the ground. So the key to building outdoor furniture is to plan your project using really narrow parts instead of wide parts. A really wide board is much more susceptible to cupping, to twisting, and distorting and causing problems, right? So go with slat design. So slat design avoids a lot of the problems that you get with wood movement. Plus a secondary benefit is that water will run right off of this and it won't pool up on your project and cause more problems. And with that said, you should also break over these corners, the sharp corners, with some sandpaper when you sand your project down. And that just helps prevent those sharp edges from developing splinters over time. Okay, we gotta talk about glue. All right. Okay, so Titebond 2 is a classic wood glue, right? This is just fine for an exterior project, but the one I would really recommend is Titebond 3. This is just more waterproof than this one. Plus, nice added benefit is you get a longer open time with this, which is just really helpful for when you're assembling a tricky table base like this. That really helped me out. But of course, Gorilla Glue, it's another popular glue. It works fine for an exterior project as well. And then just like any interior project that you're doing where you might have to fix little issues along the way, like hairline cracks or little defects here and there, CA glue is typically what you would use, and this is fine for an outdoor project as well, because when this cures, it's waterproof. And then if you're going to use screws, you obviously want to pick one that's not going to corrode or rust, right? So that would start with stainless steel, a galvanized coated screw, and then there's also premium deck screws, and these are all great choices. Now you're going to love this part about sanding. 320, don't need it. 220, don't need it. 180, don't need it. I think the finest that you want to sand an exterior project is like 120 and call it good. So with that, it's time to get a finish on this. The best finish for your outdoor wood furniture isn't one of these. It actually is good old-fashioned paint, right? Nothing protects wood the way paint does, but nothing hides the beauty of wood the way paint does. So I'm not going to use that. I really want to show off these nice colors of these two woods. So here are my choices. You've got marine grade spar varnish, you've got a marine grade epoxy, and then there are also exterior oils. So spar varnish and epoxy are great at protecting the wood from water damage, but they're a little more finicky to apply, and then they only last a couple of years before they need to be stripped down and refinished. Now I like the exterior oil, especially because it's a lot easier to apply. It doesn't last that long. I'm still going to have to maintain this finish, but it's probably my best option, since no matter what I do, I'm going to have to refinish this project from time to time, and I just want the easiest way to do that. I'll also top it off with just a little extra UV protector, and I should be good to go. Okay, so you just saw me finish this table with this exterior oil and then top it off with the sun shield. And so you might be wondering, hey, why didn't you use teak oil? Isn't that the best stuff to use for an outdoor project? And it could be true. Teak oil, it's made by a bunch of different brands, but the issue is who knows what it is. This could be one of three things, right? There could be oil that's extracted from teak trees that's intended to be used on other woods to make them maybe behave like teak. That might be a bit of a stretch though, who knows? But it could be oil that's actually intended to be used on teak, or it just could be a really good exterior finish that's been named teak oil to just give you that association that, hey, this is probably the best stuff to use on a project outdoors. It could be true. These are fine exterior finishes. Use them if that's what you want to do. I use this only because I'm used to it. I've used it a bunch of times. I like it. That's it. So you like it? I'm gonna build another one to match and put it on the other side of the patio. I think that'll look great. Again, my name is Mark. I'm from Woodworker Source. We sell woods like this to people like you, and we will ship it right to your door if you want to. So come give us a visit. We would love to see you. With that, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.